What are you doing to help someone else? Are you making somebody else's life better? You know, I'm challenging you to use your gifts to help other people. And I'm going to show you the value of doing that next on Enjoying Everyday Life. You know, we all have wonderful gifts that God has put in us. Every one of us, every single one of us have gifts that God has put in us. And really, nobody's gift is any more important than another's. Some of the most important people in my life are the people that do some of the more everyday, mundane things for me, like keep my house clean and fix me a decent meal once in a while. And I wish I had a housekeeper and a cook. Well, if you worked as hard as I did, God might give you one. Come on. See, that's part of our problem. We hear about somebody else's blessing and we get an attitude. Well, it must be nice for you. I wish I had that. Oh, Jesus. I cleaned my own house for years before God gave me somebody to clean it. Maybe if you'd start by cleaning it up. But oh no, we think we're entitled. Well, I'm entitled to that. No, you're not. You got to earn those rights. Go with me to Romans 12. I'm daring you to act like a Christian. I'm daring you to be bold enough to get out in that big bad world and just act like a Christian. And be passionate about whatever you do, everything you do. Romans 12:6, having gifts, faculties, talents, and qualities that differ. Yes, you're different than everybody else. Just accept that. According to the grace given unto us, let us use them. Let us use them. Let us use them. What are you doing with the gifts and talents and abilities that God has given you? Well, I'm just trying to figure out what God wants me to do with my life. I'm just so confused. I'm trying to figure out my purpose. Serve the Lord with gladness. Be a blessing. Find somebody to help. Encourage somebody. Whatever's in front of you to do, do it. If somebody needs a ride, give it to them. Quit being so picky about what you do. See, you know what the root of a lot of our problem is we're looking for identity. And we want to find something to do that's impressive so we feel good about ourselves. Rather than just laying our hand to whatever you do. Whatever. That's a popular phrase among teenagers. Whatever. Well, you know what? I think more adults need to say that. Whatever, Lord. Whatever you want me to do. Just whatever. You know, I'm not too good to clean a house. It's probably not the most fruitful way for me to use my time, but I certainly don't think I'm too good to do it. We need to get over thinking we're too good to do anything and just say to God, whatever you want me to do. A lot of your gifts may not seem like flashy gifts. They may be very simple gifts. You may have a gift of organization. You may have a gift of encouragement. You may have some kind of creative gift that you could actually use to make money for missions if you would. Everybody is endowed by their Creator with gifts, abilities, and talents. I was endowed with a teaching gift. I've never studied how to put the sermon together. I've never had one class in public speaking. It would probably confuse me if I tried to go get one. This is a gift that God put in me. I was endowed with this gift, but I was not entitled to this ministry, and I was not entitled to be a Bible teacher. I was endowed with the gift, but I got the ministry from doing the work. You're not going to be happy if you do nothing. How can you be passionate about nothing? Did you hear me? How can you be passionate about nothing? Well, I just don't know what to do. Well, open your eyes and look around. There's so many hurting people, so many needy, discouraged people. My goodness, give somebody a hug, smile at somebody. Tell somebody they look nice. Ask somebody if you can help them. I mean, any person who will pray and say, God, will you put something in front of me that I can do so I can be useful in your kingdom? I mean, if you are even halfway listening to God, it will not be very long and you will know what to do. But you got to stop being so picky. I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and that's beneath me, and that's above me. You know, God may ask you to do something that you think is way more than you could possibly do. Well, get out of the boat and see what God will do. And then He may ask you to do something that you think is beneath you. Well, humble yourself and do it anyway. One of the reasons why a lot of people are confused about what they're supposed to do is because they're just too picky. Now, use them. He whose gift is prophecy, let him prophesy. He whose gift is practical service, let him give himself to serving. I love this. He who teaches, let him give himself to his teaching. He who exhorts and encourages, let him give himself to his exhortation. He who contributes, let him do it with simplicity and liberality. He who gives aid and superintends, let him do it with zeal and singleness of mind. He who does acts of mercy, let him do it with genuine cheerfulness and joyfulness. You know what I'm seeing here? Whatever it is that God has called you to do it with all of your heart and do it passionately. In Matthew 25, we see the story of the talents. 3 different people were given talents. One talent, one 2 talents, one 3 talents. The master went away. He came back for an accounting. 2 of them had used their talents. 1 had not. The one who did not said he didn't use his talent because he was afraid. And the master didn't feel sorry for him. He condemned him and told him he was a wicked, lazy, contemptible servant, and he took away from him what he had and gave it to somebody who was going to use theirs. But the first 2, he said an interesting thing to them. Well done, thou good and faithful servant, enter into the joy and the blessedness of the Lord. So it's a very simple message there. God has endowed me with something, and if I will use it, I'll be happy. You're not going to enter the joy of the Lord if you don't use the gift that God has given you. So many people ask Dave and I about this whole thing with us, and, you know, is this okay, and is he happy, and do we get along, and how does this work with me being up here and him being down there? Well, first of all, my husband is very secure. And secondly, to be honest with you, in the beginning, Dave did not like it. He had a hard time with it. But thank God it didn't last very long. I don't think it lasted more than a few weeks, because Dave is a man who's determined to have peace and enjoy his life. So, since it became pretty obvious I wasn't going to shut up, and God actually spoke to him early and said, I've put this gift in her, and I want you to help that gift. And what Dave realized is that if he does his part, what God has asked him to do, then he will have joy. If he tries to do my part and he's not gifted for that, he won't have joy. So many people, because of insecurities and and comparisons and being concerned about what people are going to think, they try to do something that they're not even anointed for, that's just way beyond their gifting, and they make themselves miserable. Or whatever it is God has given them to do may look to somebody else like it's a lower thing, and that embarrasses them, so they won't do that either. And you're not free until you don't need to impress anybody. So Dave enjoys his life because he knows what he's supposed to do, and he does that, and you don't have to worry about what anybody thinks. So whatever it is you're good at, do it. If you can bake a cake, bake one. If you love kids, then work in the nursery, start a daycare, babysit for your friends. It's not hard to figure out what God wants you to do. What do you like? What are you good at? What are your abilities? Whatever it is you can do, do it. Whatever your gifts are, use them. But make your mind up today that one thing you are not going to do in your life, I want you to make a decision. There is one thing that I am not going to do in my life, and that is nothing. Will anybody make that decision today? One thing I am not ever going to do again is nothing. When I see a need, I am going to work for justice. If I see something and I say, you know, that's not right, one option I don't have is to do nothing. I have to do something. I have to pray. I have to ask God what I can do. If I can't do it, I got to go find somebody that can, but I cannot ignore it. I have to do something. One of my daughters called me a couple of weeks ago. She actually emailed me, and she knew of a family that had a lot of needs, and you know, they had some limited resources, and she said, you know, I'm willing to do this, but I can't do any more, and I know you don't know these people, but I know you like to help people. You know, would you want to do something toward this? So we finished off the need. I didn't have to know them to help them. But the thing is she couldn't do it by herself, so she didn't just shut down. She went and found somebody that could do it. Hello? Maybe you can't meet a need all by yourself. Well, get together 10 of your other bored, lazy Christian friends. And the next time you go to lunch, instead of gossiping about everybody at church, come on now, you're too tired to fight me off, so just... I dare you to never again in your life attend a pity party. The devil will invite you. You will get invited to every pity party he throws. But I'm daring you to never again attend a pity party. When things don't work out for you the way that you want them to work out, ask yourself, what are my options? You know, for years I would do these conferences, and I would have such a good time in the conferences. And then we would go home, and Dave would want to play golf on Sunday. And I would get hurt and wounded. And I would sit home all day and feel sorry for myself after doing these great conferences. Well, I just can't believe that after I worked so hard all weekend, doesn't he understand? I need to go out. I need somebody to take me out to eat. I need somebody to encourage me. I need somebody to cheer me up. But see, here was the problem. I wasn't thinking at all about what it was like for him to sit here You know, one of the reasons why we feel sorry for ourselves is because we don't think about anybody but us. We don't even consider what it's like for, but what is it like for Dave? What is it like for him to sit there, meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting? I mean, he said last night, I have been in women's conferences for a quarter of a century. been telling me lately, you need to pray for more understanding of other people. We need to live beyond the end of our nose and stop just thinking about what I want, what I need, what I'm not getting, what you're not doing for me, me, what about me, me. And we need to think, what is life like for you? What is it like for Dave to be in the position he's in? What is it like for him? Well, you know what? Dave is great. He loves me. He's proud of me. He enjoys my teaching. He always encourages me. But you know what? Dave is a very active man, and by the time he sits in that chair this many hours, come Sunday morning, he's got to get out and do something. Well, he's like, you can go play golf with me? I'm tired. So now I survey my options. Because you know what? He's going to go. So I can start a war. I can sit home, feel sorry for myself all day. I can get mad. Or I can survey my options. And my options are watch a movie, read a book, call one of my kids and say, do you want to go out to lunch with me? Go shopping? Or sometimes what I do, I have an aunt and a mom that I take care of that are in their 80s, that are in assisted living care, and sometimes after I do these conferences, I'll just go see them. Now, you know what? That may not be the thing that my flesh really, wants to do, but it's amazing how it nurtures my spirit. And I can say, well, I've been giving all weekend. I am not just going to go give again. I mean, I need somebody to do something for me. Let me just tell you a little secret I've learned. You need to retire from self-care and have a retirement party. I mean, just go ahead and give it up. And I've learned, honestly, if I'm not getting from Dave or anybody else what I think they should give me, or if I'm feeling emotionally needy, or, you ladies get this. Sometimes we're emotionally needy, And, men don't always get that, so you just got to kind of look over that. But, I went away for a week recently to study and get ready for this and work on some upcoming projects that I had. And, I like a little bit of alone time, 3-4 times a year, just get alone with God. And so I was gone all week from my husband. And, I thought, man, when we come home, he's going to spend all day with me, and this is going to be cool. We'll go out to eat. We'll do this, we'll do that. Well, I got home, and he said, oh, no, I've got tickets to the football game. I said, Dave, I've been gone all week. Well, I can't miss this game. I have the tickets. You don't need to waste the tickets. I'm thinking, I don't give a rip what you do with the tickets. I want you to tell me how much you miss me and be Google-eyed and take me out to eat and say, oh, honey, I would never go to a ball game. I have been waiting for you to come home. He says, the game's only 3 hours. I'll take you out as soon as it's over. Well, that wasn't good enough. I wanted him. Now, I could feel myself starting to go to the pity party. How many of you can feel yourself starting to go before you ever get there? I thought, okay, options. What are my options? I thought, okay, I could pray. I could do that. You know what? I'm going to dare you today to start acting like you trust God. Instead of just saying you trust God and doing all this faith talk, I'm going to dare you to start acting like you trust God. And you know what we do when we trust God? When there's something that we can't control that's not going our way, we don't try to manipulate through anger and use our emotions to control people. We pray and tell God, if you can't get it done, then I guess it don't need to be done. Now, Dave don't even know this, but I tell a lot of things up here that he don't know till he hears it from here. And But I just prayed, and I said, okay, Lord, I know the routine. I know Dave loves me. I know he doesn't get the whole woman thing. I mean, I know how he feels about the ball games. So I'm just praying that whatever Dave is supposed to do for me to keep me emotionally strong, you will move through him to do that. And if you don't want to move through him, then move through somebody else. But I'm just trusting you, God, to keep me and to keep me happy and to keep me strong. And I'm telling you, God is my witness. He went to the ball game, but I mean the next day, for the next 3 or 4 days, the man behaved like my personal servant. And I never said a thing to him. You remember last week when I told you, man, you are being so nice to me. I mean, we ate dinner and he said, oh no, you go sit down. I'll clean the kitchen up and do the dishes. I'm like, you know, I really want to challenge you today to begin to take responsibility for your life. You know, I was abused in my childhood sexually and in many other ways, and for a long, long time I used that as an excuse and a reason for all kinds of bad behavior. And I had to learn that even though what happened to me was the reason that I was the way I was, I couldn't let it be an excuse to stay that way. I had to take responsibility for my actions. And I cannot even begin to tell you how wonderful that has been for me and the good fruit that I've seen from that in my life. And I think a lot of people are just stuck going around and around and around the same mountains all the time, never making progress, because they're not really taking responsibility. You know, it's very easy to blame and to make excuses, but it takes real courage to be responsible.
You mean more to us at Joyce Meyer Ministries than you may ever know. We appreciate you, and we thank our friends and partners for making this worldwide ministry possible. Together, we're feeding the hungry, clothing the poor, and presenting the gospel to the nations. Please contact us or visit joycemeyer.org today to share your prayer requests, find out more about our resources, see Joyce's conference schedule, and to join us in partnership as we share the love of Christ around the globe.